So let's say you want to decorate a big environment, and there is a problem with this. So this environment is very big, and you may have the challenge that you need to decorate like big assets, right? If you take a look at this, like it's quite a big asset compared to the size of this human here. There are a couple of challenges here that I want to address. The first one is how do we get the detail when our environment is so big? Because there is so much textile density that we can put in one asset. When you scale it out, you scale it and it just looks good from distance but very bad from close. So, and the next one, it's the performance. So we're just gonna put a P here. Performance, when it comes to Nanite and performance, Unreal works best with modular pieces. It always been like that because it's just the way it works. And also since using Nanite, it's better to have like modular pieces here. So let's go ahead and talk about the modular pieces first. So if you take a look at this, I'm actually having some pieces like this, right? I'm having a smaller pieces of chunks of this environment that I'm using. And at the beginning, I just start with a big one like this, and then I will cut it. I will go here and go to modeling and just go to model and polygroup edit, put an edge loop here, and then I will just select all these. For example, I can just go here to triangle select and select all this here and go to separate. Where you got separate, there you go. So separate will basically create a new mesh here for me. So if you go ahead and open this up, now I have two meshes here that I can use. So that's how I break down this environment. And there is still a problem with that. Like, let's say you break your environment. I have break this into smaller pieces as well. Like you can see this one, for example, like it's just a smaller piece that I can use in my environment. You can even go smaller and smaller. Now, you will notice that this castle looks good from distance, even though it's still a work in progress. It's not finished, so just keep that in mind. So looking good is kind of subjective here. But if you go like this, if you go like this, and I think I didn't enable the Nanite for this one. Let's do that now. Yeah, let's enable the Nanite. Yes, that's what we want. So you will see that we have a lot of detail, even though we have a very, very big piece. Now, Nanite obviously helping us a lot, but there is a lot going on in this material and the vertex painting that I want to touch on. Because this is the challenge when working with big environments. You want it to look good from distance, okay? But you also want them to look good from close-ups. So if you go here to the size of this character, you will see that even though I'm very close to the castle, you can still see that I have a lot of detail and it's just not one texture that is repeating. So I'm gonna go here and show you how you can tackle this problem, because this problem, you may have it yourself. So we are talking about two materials. One for whatever is it that you want, and another one for other areas that you want them to look different. In my case, since I'm doing like a concept based on an original concept from Age of Empires, I already have it figured out. Like I have white areas on the top, and darker areas on the bottom. So obviously these require different textures and different treatments, right? Now, these textures are using texture vertex painting. As you have seen here, I'm painting the areas where I want a different texture to show up. Now, I will show you how to vertex paint with Nanite after, but you will see that these textures here, let's go for texture 1. It has these textures, 1, 2, and 3. And texture 2 has 3 textures as well. Now you can paint like 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3 here. And 1 and 2 are completely different from each other. These two, 1 and 2, are very different. But 3, it's actually the same texture that we're using. And this is our transition texture that is happening here. That's why you may notice, especially here where it's breakdown like in a less linear fashion, you cannot really see, it's really like a smooth transition between these two different meshes, like this one and this one. And I even go here to I'm gonna show you this part because it's really interesting later. Even have 2 materials inside one. So if you go here, you will see that in this area, you will have 1 material, another material, but you will also have a transition phase where these 2 blend. So let me show you what I mean. This one is also very interesting. So if you want to paint here, you just need to first disable Nanite. You need to disable Nanite, okay? And then you will go here for mesh painting. Go to paint, and let's see if I remember which ones I'm painting here. So if I paint red and green, looks like this is my transition texture. So if you want to remove if you want this to look bad, paint like this. You will notice what happened here. There is a big seam here that is happening. And the reason for that is we are painting other values here, like this one, and we can just paint like this, for example, or we can just, you can start painting different types of values here that you want. So that's something to keep in mind, okay? So you can paint a flint walk if you want. I wanna actually let's just leave it like that for now. So you got the flame walk here, and what you have here, it's a transition that is not really looking good. So if you look at this, like this is actually not working quite well. So you need your transition phase where you just paint these ones like this. Like this is your transition phase. And it's exactly the same texture that is actually happening here. You will notice that even though this one has Nanite, that's why you don't see, it's working pretty well. Now, if you want to apply this, because remember, this is Nanite, you just go apply to mesh here, right here. I'm gonna make it super clear to you. Go to mesh, apply it, and it will preserve the vertex color. A lot of people think that Nanite won't preserve the vertex color because, it doesn't support it. It does. It just doesn't support per instance vertex color painting, which is like unique meshes on here. This one has the like the same vertex painting as this one. So let me open up, enable Nanite again. What you will see here is that these two, they look like they are the same mesh. They're actually different meshes. I can even hide this. You will see that they blend very nicely, especially with Nanite. Now, this one you will see that have a different pattern here. you see that I'm actually blending very nicely between these two textures here. And I'm going to show you the material at the end of the video so you can have an idea how to create this. Is very simple. So you will see that I have my second material here, just like the bottom, and the top one is using this. But also the top one has two materials. How did I do that? How did I put two materials here? In my research, I realized that I actually only need the white areas here. So I have like an interesting design happening here at the bottom, which is not like a straight line like you see on the left. This is a different part of the castle, requires a different treatment. So what I did was go to modeling tools and just go to attributes and go to edit materials. And here you can assign new materials. Before this was one, so I can just paint here. For example, this one. I can paint this one. And I can assign the material here just by assign active material. You can select the active material here, which one you want. So you have the bottom and the top. So if I choose the top and assign the material, then it will turn white here. So let's just assign active material. You will see what's going on. We actually have a different material here. So you can blend these parts by painting the transition texture on the border, and that's how you get like a result like this. I'm gonna cancel this because I don't really want to affect this any further, but you can see how you can use this technique to actually decorate big environments. So let's take a look at this. It's very, very simple. So what I have here, obviously this is a little bit messed up because I don't intend to share this with anyone, so it's just like my own thing. I just work very messy for my personal projects. It's not like if it was like a group project, I will need to clean it up. But this is just a material that I'm using. Make material attributes, and here it's another material, and this is my third material. So you can decide whatever you want for these transition textures. For each material, you're gonna go for the material layer blend standard, and the blending mode, it's a vertex color. You can choose whatever you want. You can put a height lerp, so your vertex color painting, it's much, looks better than just the default one. Height lerp after vertex color, usually very, very good results. And you can put it on the alpha. So you can do the same here. And then blend another one with another vertex color. And then just put it here. So now you have like two different colors. Red is gonna paint the base and the top material. And green is gonna paint the result of this painting plus another material on top. So this is just how it works. And this is very important because sometimes you will encounter situations where you have like very big environments like this, and you're wondering like, how are you gonna decorate them? Because how do you go about modular pieces and all that stuff? And this is a technique that I used to do a lot at Ubisoft because their environments are quite big sometimes, and you do a lot of vertex painting. A lot of your details will go for with vertex painting with your assets. So just keep that in mind. So to sum it up, first, divide these parts into modular pieces. However you want. You can even divide by another modular piece if you want to use it in the future. The second thing, put a material that you can vertex paint. And the third one, paint the transition texture here for the areas where you feel like you need that transition so you can have a smooth transition, and it does look good from distance. It will look good from close up as well. So that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, like, let me know in the comments so I can keep doing more videos like this, more breakdowns whatsoever. If you want to learn more from me, take a look at the links in the description. And of course, also if you want to become a game developer, you also have our action game course, which is amazing. You should check it out. Start the first lesson for free at no cost. You can start now. Give it a go. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.